for the plot, but we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And in trouble beneath the side of the irule. Watashi tachi wa sorera wa subete vunseiki shimasu. It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting over shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown. Breakdown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Biggles Breakdown. I am Biggles. I have bit through my tongue, so I sound funny, so be nice to me. But I am joined by my two co-hosts, as always, Crimson Law and Little Chad. Hello, guys. Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
Hi. My my internet's being slow today.
Uh-oh. That's no good. So,
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards or whatever, and we're only
you mean what industry people will write $20 checks to get awards from Crunchyroll? Got it. Yep.
Yeah, but we're only going to talk about best isekai, which is either ReZero, Konosuba, or Jobless Reincarnation.
You notice how none of them are new shows? Just saying, they're all returning masterpieces.
I mean, there's Shangri-La Frontier, but that's also...
Did they put Shangri-La Frontier into Isekai?
They did, which makes me...
I have a lot of problems with classifying Shangri-La Frontier as an Isekai.
Me too. I only put it on the list.
I can kind of understand it, but I also very heavily disagree with the Isekai
because it isn't
qualification.
Well, my thought is if it's a game one, if you're doing Sword Art where they're locked in, right?
And they can't leave.
They die if they try to pull the nerve gear or whatever. Maybe I can sort of see how they're now locked into that other world. But when it comes to Shangri-La Frontier, he can turn it off anytime he wants. And within the context of the show, we are constantly moving to other games to have other world environments, right? We hit where he's doing his terrible games like fighting games or, mech robot games, whatever. So it's a widely variation thing. I disagree fundamentally with putting Shangri-La Frontier in Isekai.
It's like hearing people, and I won't name names, but they're all on the Weebs and Waifus panel, call Freerin and even given the worthless appraiser skill, I'm still the strongest. Isekais.
How in the God's name are they Isekai?
Hold on, let me solve this. Ready? A person on the internet said if it's fantasy, it's an isekai. So that's why Freerin is, because she defeated a demon lord. That's what some guy on the internet said.
Okay. So Freerin is an isekai because Ivan Ortega is retarded. The appraiser one is an isekai because Blabbering Collector is retarded.
Poor Blabs. But you know what? Blabs is on Tarts.
Well, it's true.
So she fits the description,
So I'll grant you that the absolute bunny rabbit level maw beast proliferation of isekai over the last decade has made it very hard, especially when you start getting generic fantasy that are reincarnations. So they're sort of in that isekai zone where it's either within the same fantasy world in a different time frame, or that in the case of Temu Tensei, where we get a fantasy world guy dying and reincarnating to a different fantasy world.
I would say Temu Tensei legitimately is an isekai, more so than something like...
I'm the seventh son, I'm going to practice my magic, whatever, which is a reincarnation story, but not going to a different world.
He's still within the same world, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's just moved forward in time and is now in a different family and body.
Yeah. The basic requirements for isekai is to literally live up to the what the genre means, because isekai legitimately means other world.
Yeah, and you don't
You
have to be
go
summoned.
to another world in order for it to be an isekai. So Shangri-La Frontier, like, I do get it. I can see why it would be confused with an isekai, but it's not, because he's still within his own world. His life is not tethered to Shangri-La Frontier, nor to Nephilim Hollow, or to Burp.
Yeah.
Burp.
And we
Berserk Online Passion.
and we get, like I said, in Shangri-La Frontier, you get the moment where they immediately drop out and start living their regular life. Pencilgon is a famous model. You know, like that, where it's a joke that she would be a crazy MMORPG player online. So I get it. I get that everybody wants.
She's a damn psychopath, is what she is.
I mean,
I love it.
Of trying to put anybody into the the put any of those shows that are fantasy into that.
Mm-hmm.
God, man, we gotta. I mean, some of these people need to start getting. I don't want to. I don't like gatekeeping. I like people coming into anime and finding the shows they love. But these are the people who are voting on the Crunchyroll Awards. You are clicking through and just
no. I specifically have not covered the Crunchyroll Awards on or for anything really, because they literally are just the normie awards. Like, they're basically all there for people who enjoy shonen and solely popular anime.
Well, think of it this way:
Like,
they have.
I can guarantee you, like, you could, like, it was really easy to predict that Freerin and Solo Leveling would be on there. Like, there's no way they wouldn't have, and Don did on as well.
Yeah, I mean,
but
there's
they also
nothing
don't
wrong with
include
those
a lot of, like,
choices
really.
either.
Well, maybe Solo Leveling season 1.
Well, I still feel like there would have been much more interesting stuff if, one, they had actually categorized this better, and two, their way of like delineating something per year wasn't absolutely fucked as well, because basically Freerin counts in the 2024 anime even though it started in 2023,
which is why I didn't count it in mine.
There's a lot. I also think, and not that because I love ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, and Konosuba, I don't necessarily think it's fair for anime. I mean, for if you're doing like, I mean, you might want to separate out, like, these are legit returning masterpiece animes. Is it fair to be putting them up against? Then on the other hand, they are the best of their genre, so it is fair that they should get awards, right? So I'm of two minds on that count too, because I mean, Konosuba was its fourth season.
Well, they also have
third.
third, and then Suicide Squad Isekai is on there.
Oh, that one's bullshit.
And so is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, which I hear is actually pretty good. I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, that one is a legit isekai reincarnation anime,
right?
So,
and then
I personally don't really care much for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I feel like it's very heavily overrated, and it's basically just a city building simulator with a little bit of like the flex aura moments of Solo Leveling mixed in every now and again.
Well, I'm just upset that Suicide Isekai made it over a wrong way of using healing magic.
So that's because,
or even like, well, actually, I think wouldn't Dad's Been Reincarnated have been last year?
No, that was
year.
It was winter, so it started like January.
Oh, was that winter? Am I just losing my mind and losing track of everything?
Yes, it's okay. But you know, the dub, I think the dub just finished too.
Right.
Now, what Biggles is really up in arms is how Villainous didn't make that list.
I know. Fuck that, man. That's a great isekai. Where
It's
are
like
my Otome
she
games?
even had an eye patch You,
I know, right?
you ignorant bastards.
I
How do
know.
you not?
She's disabled. So the best isekai category is kind of fucked. But I think all three of us might have different isekais.
I mean, so it's like, how do you? Here's where I'm at. Konosuba, that absolutely loved this last season. I thought it
Yeah,
was
season
fantastic.
3 is the best one. It's what made it my favorite.
But but it's a comedy. It's a straight comedy. Whereas
Mhm.
I think Mushoku Tensei, especially with Rudy and Paul and saving Zenith, I mean that whole arc and what led up to, I mean that there's so much story going on and character development and losing, then you get the aftermath of losing his dad, and I mean there's so much drama, like that's a straight drama. And then
Mhm.
you've got ReZero, which is just peak, right? the
Mhm.
the fights in ReZero. Now the thing is, the ReZero that we got, I mean this is where anime of the year is weird. I guess the first half was really good, but I'd say the second half is where ReZero really shined this season.
Yeah,
So
and it's not
so
last year.
I would have actually voted for
Well,
ReZero to be
that's
more of a
generally just
contender this year.
Mhm.
yeah, that's generally just how like the story of ReZero is in all is the second half is usually the
The good half.
best part because of the way Tape Nagatsuki writes. Like I read some of his like afterwards in his books, and it was very interesting the way he described how he likes to write things.
Nice. Yeah, so I
Um,
mean, so each one kind of represents a really different style of isekai, which is good. I mean, I think it's a really nice to have very dramatically different types of anime within a category, because it
Mhm.
really shows you isekai is, we want to pigeonhole. I don't say us, not us on this panel, but a lot of anime people want to pigeonhole isekai to that same circular fantasy castle kingdom, template with generic fantasy, like Adventure Guild A and this X, Y, and Z. Like that's what you think of, right?
Mhm.
With some kind of overpowered cheat ability that the guy takes advantage of. But isekai is really, I mean, like Crimson said, it just literally means another world. Like Gate is an isekai,
mm,
and no one is being reincarnated. No one is getting some kind of overpowered fantasy powers aside from our boy in the Japan Self Defense Force having max level Riz to rival solo leveling every time he meets a
No, sister
fantasy girl.
leveling. Sister leveling to rival sister leveling.
Yeah. so so isekai has all sorts of potential. You can go all sorts of different places with isekai and different ways of doing it. And these three nominees really are great at showing that. And I'm kind of at a loss to say, it's really personal preference is what it's going to come down to. And
mhm.
and for me, it'll probably be Mushoku Tensei, because ReZero was split from last year to this year. And
Mhm.
I think
Well,
with ReZero, you'd want the complete unit to get the really good stuff in the second half. So I would say Mushoku Tensei got its entire run, right? If I remember right, it did its two
no,
cores.
it
No,
was
did it
split.
split
It was
two
split
cores?
between 2 years
Yeah, see, that's
actually.
the problem. That in that case, then I'm going to end
It
up with
did. It did a fall and then a spring release.
yeah. So that's right, because the fall of the year before was the ED little blue pill in the form of Sylphie the elf arc. And then now, granted, the second half that we got this year, which was the Paul Zenith, arc, is clearly the better stuff out of that season.
Mhm.
Mm. Well,
I'm gonna lean towards Konosuba only because it had a complete season within the time frame that it was, being judged against.
And you
yeah.
can't
Well,
top.
that was a very similar reason to why when I did my top 10, I didn't put ReZero as the number one. I put Dandadan because Dandadan actually did a full season. Um, ReZero did not. It had 8 episodes and it took a break, which was kind of frustrating.
Don't worry, Marcel. We're done with it.
Don't Mushoku Tensei is so good. I'm sorry. It's
he
one of
doesn't.
my.
He doesn't
I know.
like having ED. It makes him feel less of a man, right, Marcel?
He's an Overlord stan, so
Oh my god, I'd rather have no character development at all, but with hot chick designs than that's what Overlord is. Overlord is like is form over function 100% because all the designs are amazing. I think the character designs in Overlord are really really good. I think
well,
it sometimes meanders a lot.
here's another one that I think, like, when it comes to isekai, you take, like, I'll say, like, my top four isekais are effectively ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, Konosuba, and Overlord. But they're all very different things, and it's kind of hard to compare the two. The closest you can get in comparing isekais is ReZero and Mushoku Tensei because they have a lot of, like, similar structure and themes to them. And then Konosuba is just an absolute parody of isekai overall. And Overlord is really good for, like, the politics of its writing, like the intricacies of how the plot moves. But I do agree, I have never been a fan of the Overlord characters because they have always been incredibly flat to me.
They have more character growth and
Except for Cocytus, that guy kicks ass. he's pretty awesome. So
they have more character growth in the Isekai Quartet.
I love when Subaru and was it and our boy from Konosuba met, and they're both wearing the jumpsuits and they're both like comparing.
So I would not say Overlord sucks by a long shot. I didn't like the movie, but the seasons of the anime, the seasons of the anime have been pretty good.
Oh, these are fighting words.
All right, so
there's so
that,
much.
That is genuinely like the ultimate media literacy fucking failure. I'm sorry.
So
but we'll move on from that because this is a downward spiral of a conversation.
Hold on. No, this is perfect. This is actually perfect, and I'll tell you why. Ready? You know why I think Konosuba is going to win this? Because people hate Rudy and people hate Subaru because people do not understand character development.
Well, no, people hate Konosuba because of Megumin.
Why? What's wrong with
Shonen fans hate Megumin because she is lolly.
I was going to say because she's flat.
God damn. All right. Okay.
But that's why you have small, medium, and large on the team. You have you have Aqua, and you have Darkness. You have something for everybody. It's fine. You know that in real life, there are girls in their late teens, early 20s who are still very petite. They don't have to be lolly.
Yeah, she's not even a lolly.
No, she's not. She's like 14 years old. She's a teenager.
Yeah.
But that is, again, one of the reasons that, like, a lot of shonen fans hate Konosuba is because it's over-sexualized, and why do they got to make a little girl this sexual? And they complain about all that stuff, like, with zero attention to anything that is going on in the story.
I mean, I could definitely start pulling up clips of Dragon Ball. If you want to talk
original
about
Dragon Ball,
if you want to talk about random
that was a joke.
sexualization.
That was a joke. He didn't mean it.
Like Bulma running around in her underwear so much
or Chi as like a 6-year-old girl riding around in a stripper outfit.
Yeah, and like metal bra, metal underwear, and like helmet. Like,
yeah, I mean it's just part of anime, right? So that's part of the humor element. It's fine.
Also, a lot of these people are fucking stupid. They're like, they think anime is like for adults. Shonen is young boys, right? How do you say the one for adult males?
Seinen.
Seinen? Yeah.
Seinen.
So like an adult, like as an example, like Dragon Ball Shonen is for teen boys, as was a lot of and basically anything shonen like Kinnikuman Dragon Ball, anything where you've got like like the power up endless turn. If it's got a tournament arc, it's a shonen for boys. Like I'm talking like My Hero Academia, like although My Hero Academia did sort of mature up with its audience, but you can definitely see the first few seasons, and which mirror the manga, that was pure shonen. We had tournament arcs, we had power leveling, we had all that standard tropes. If you want but adult anime has also existed, like something like Cowboy Bebop was not meant for 12-year-olds. It was meant
Isn't there a
for
scene where they show full on full frontal?
in Cowboy Bebop, I
Yeah,
believe.
there is.
Yeah,
It's Glenn or whatever. I watched it pretty recently because we did a show on it.
yeah. I mean, so there's always been a play. They anime, just like if you want to, anime is just movies, right? Like if you or television, there are genres and types of television for every age demographic. Anime is just that with animation. It's not locked in. Like people, I think sometimes, especially people who are new to anime, have a tendency to lump it all in together as one. Like anime is the genre, right? Like and everything. If it's Japanese animation is anime, it's all the same. And as you go through your journey of becoming a true anime man of culture or woman of culture, you start to learn with the different genres, the different age types. Like you've got yaoi, you've got yuri, you've got rom-com, you've got slice of life, you got
I'm sorry. Oh, fucking hell.
That's why we're all here too.
I mean,
So
I didn't plan for that, but if that's a bonus of being on the show, yes, that's
okay,
a good.
that's not a response I expected. So for context, sorry, I was on a show on Friday with some friends, and I had been drinking, and one of the dudes pissed me off. I threatened to grape him. So that's why I said you better show up, or Drunk Crimson will make innocuous threats at you. That will never be fulfilled.
You got to fulfill them, Crimson.
No, I don't. I'm not.
You got to go through your threats.
I am not a criminal, and sober Crimson cannot be held liable for the things that Drunk Crimson said. Okay.
All right. When you threaten someone, you got to do it. You can't pussy out. Otherwise, you're just words. Your threats are meaningless, which is exactly the point. Okay, so those are the best isekais. So I think Konosuba is going to win, mainly because people don't understand character growth because of everything we just said.
It really comes down to which one has the least hate, and I think Konosuba technically has the least hate, followed by ReZero. Mushoku Tensei is the one that a lot of people hate for various
There's so many
almost all of them bullshit, but
like as
it's because
as we got in the chat here, where as Crimson said, we got one of the worst illiterate takes on because like I could take some of the great movies or TV shows in history and make a stupid 3-sentence description that made it sound positively retarded.
Well, let's just do it this way. Overlord is basically just a retard somehow lucking out on everything he does.
Exactly. And he doesn't even have full 99 luck like our Kazuma, or Kazatrash, as he's actually known as.
He is a man who believes in equality, though, Biggles.
I know.
And that is my favorite. I want that clip. I am a man who believes in equality, and I believe in
true gender equality.
So you can get it your own goddamn self.
So now I do think as far as this stuff is concerned, it's really hard, honestly, to pick one of these because I do really like ReZero. It's easily my favorite isekai. I think Mushoku Tensei is probably the best isekai. even though it's not as high on my list, just because generally speaking, it had like the level of lore to it is just the same as ReZero, but I like its pure fantasy aesthetic more because ReZero does sort of have that like pop fantasy element to it where they make magical duplicates of a bunch of like random real world things, right? Like the Metia, how they're able to communicate over like long distances with the like pocket watch mirror things, right? They basically are just magic cell phones.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm going to say this with ReZero too. ReZero is still ongoing, whereas Mushoku Tensei has, at least for the Rudy story, resolved and been done. Like Rudy's story is done. I know they're working on possible continuations because there is, if you when you read that one, there's a lot of lore, there's a lot of reason why things would continue, especially with Rudy's family. So, but
well, from what I heard, basically, Refugene was saying that like this is just the precursor to a much greater work.
yeah, so I mean, if you want to think about it, Mushoku Tensei, what we have from that is basically the prequel trilogy, like in Star Wars, and
Oh,
we still haven't gotten New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi yet, because there is a master threat within Mushoku Tensei that has not been really named and revealed in the anime yet. That is overarching with a long-term plan to try to fight that threat that Rudy was never a part of, and so his reincarnation could end up being the key to finally, like many great anime, time loops, right? They always have time loops. I don't know. I mean, I hate time travel a lot of different ways, but for some reason, in really good anime, they're actually much better about using time loop logic than a lot of Western people are.
So basically, what you're saying is a good writer can actually pull off hard to do concepts.
Yep, that is true.
No, I agree. It's basically what I always say. Anything can work in fiction. You just have to be a good enough writer to make it work. You can't be
Yeah,
stupid about it and cliched
yeah,
about it.
yeah. So anyway, with Mushoku Tensei, it's basically the Rudy arc has been resolved, whereas with ReZero, we're in arc 9, I believe it is right now.
Yeah, currently on arc
Currently
9.
arc 9. And I will say this, how he sticks the landing to resolve the threads in ReZero could take something that is tracking as a great work. He could end up, Oshinokun this thing. And because if you screw up the ending on this one, it'll just completely evaporate all the goodwill for all the arcs leading up to it. So he has to, and I don't envy him. Now there is a clear path, and he's laid out a lot of threads that I think, in my reading, tell me that he's got a plan and it's going to be satisfactory. But if you end up getting one of these guys who screws it up, or it's the devil's in the details, right? Luckily with Mushoku Tensei, he got through the entire Rudy arc, and it's because Rudy never had to do the final battle that I think it comes off as well as it is. It's really, this journey is specifically Rudy learning from all the mistakes of his past life to be a fully functional, better person, and because he becomes a better person, he becomes the groundwork, the foundation for what could save that world, even though he's not the one doing it.
mhm.
Great story because it's standalone. It takes you out of the, like, you don't have the My Hero Academia. You got to fight, and you got to fight and do the final battle, and then also give the epilogue that where fans don't get mad, or do bonus chapters because fans got mad. Got Oshinoku where you're like, you just completely fucked that series. Now nobody's going to be happy, and now the anime is going to die a death because you screwed up that ending so much. So I'm interested because ReZero could
I
get
feel
there.
like the Oshinoko ending was basically just spite because the author couldn't do what he wanted to do.
Why
Yeah,
couldn't you do what he wanted to?
Well, he was going to go the incest route,
Oh,
and
of
the
course.
editors and the publishing crew were like, "Yeah, fuck no, we're not letting you do that."
So would have that been better had he done that?
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like both are kind of endings.
Mhm.
But the big thing that I
Giggles, this is
criticize
where you
about
need the clip from Alia hides her feelings in Russian. It's only with the sister. It's only good if they're blood related.
I'll have to get it.
here's basically my critique of it is the way it ended effectively like shit on the face of an entire plot thread like and an entire character arc surrounding Aqua.
Mhm. All right, ReZero. I don't dislike it as much as Shuk. I'm just going to say jobless reincarnation because I can't say the word.
You can't
Uh,
say Mushuku?
No, because it's not abysmal.
Mushoko?
Yeah, ReZero is just kind of boring to me. I don't care about most of the characters. Okay, there we go. And then I would say that the ending of Jumbo's reincarnation so far is better than Demon Slayer, despite both being similar. Japanese looks on time is beautiful compared to the West. Look on time. Oh, sorry. I read that
As
wrong.
far as what Little Chad was saying about like the ending of ReZero, yeah, I think there is the possibility of it getting a bad ending. That's never out until the series is completely done. Like even One Piece could have a terrible ending. But let's put this into perspective for both One Piece and for ReZero. These have been running for how long now? And it's not like people have had like a massive disappointment with one arc or the other for some like really big narrative flaw to it. ReZero's biggest struggle was arc 7. A lot of people complained that it deviates from a lot of the characters you are used to. And I will leave it at
Was
that.
Arc
because
7 when they were in the kingdom with
Arc 7 is the beginning of basically Wallachia.
okay, that's right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Arc 7 and 8 are all Wallachia.
Yeah, and was is it the end of Arc 8 or the beginning of Arc 9 when when Dami Mommy for Biggles over there has her moment?
Who's Tommy Mommy?
The end, I
It's
believe
the
the one
end of
you're
8, right?
the end of 8, yes, I
Yeah,
believe.
because I thought a lot of people got a little unhappy with that, even though I thought it was executed really well.
Yeah, Arc 9 has been interesting, but it does sort of like pull on a lot of plot, a lot of connections between characters that have been established. Like it's really, really interesting to see who's all coming into this fight for Arc 9 and on which sides too.
Yeah,
So
I'm just gonna say
is
the key
Tommy
one of
Mommy Priscilla or Wrath? Or
Priscilla.
not Wrath. What's the one in the bandages on her face?
That's she's Wrath, but
Oh, okay.
she's Fortuna. That's gonna
So
turn out to be Amelia's elf mommy.
So
Oh.
here's the thing to answer the question of like One Piece or ReZero bad ending. Oda recently came out and said he hates fan theorists. Like he does not like them, and I understand his position from basically this point of view. Fan theorists will hype up a story with all of these things that they basically create a headcanon out of that may or may not be true. And then it causes the entire fan base to be terribly disappointed with how things end.
Is
I
that like
think One Piece is in prime position to be an impossible to not disappoint ending because well everyone has been like so hyped up over like what is the One Piece over all these theories and like what is going to happen, how's this going to go. I
Do you
feel
think
like
that's one
there's
of the
not
problems with taking 30 years to finish your story?
One
probably?
Piece is fantastic, but I won't even say that it's going to be Oda's fault that it's bad. I feel like it's going to be an ending that is good, but people aren't going to like it because it didn't live up to their headcanon in the form of all the fan theories that got spun about it. I feel like that's going to do more damage to One Piece than anything. ReZero's kind of in a similar position, but it's played its plot so close to its chest as far as what's actually going on that you can't really make a whole lot of theories that stick. And the fandom is really largely divided.
I mean, look at Al. Look at all the theories on Al.
Mhm.
Like there's the Al is Subaru theory, which I don't believe for a second. But
I would sooner believe that Al is Subaru's dad than anything.
Yeah. Because there's with all the like stuff, there was the Flugel with Subaru argument for a long time till Isekai Quartet's movie just completely derailed that one. Which is like I watched Isekai Quartet. I got one of the big mysteries of ReZero resolved in it. What, really? Yeah, and it wasn't even the ReZero guys. It was it was the Konosuba crew over meeting him. Oh, I still can't believe they put that massive piece of lore in that movie.
Yeah. So as far as this goes, I don't think I'll be I have my certainty, not 100% certainty, but a pretty good. I have faith that both Oda and Nagatsuki will end their series very well. I just feel like one of the big things that I just feel like one of the big things that like is going to be a problem is the fan theory stuff where everyone starts like hyping things up a ton, and it may end up. I doubt that ReZero will end badly, but this is a series that has been going for 41 plus volumes now, if you include all the EXs and the other things that have been produced out of it. And the chance is non-zero so long as the series is running that something bad happens to it.
All right, so I'm going to call it now. The One Piece is going to be a golden butt plug, and Nani, what's her name?
Nami.
Nami is going to get it. There you go. That's my theory now. I've never seen a single episode of One Piece.
The One Piece is a golden butt plug.
One Piece has one of those barriers of entry, right? Where when you're like scrolling and you're like, oh, maybe I'll pick up this show. Let me see how many oh my god, there's that many things.
8,000 episodes? What the fuck?
It's like
Or 9,001 episodes? What? 9,000?
I think there are two hurdles to One Piece. One, getting started. Two, watching through Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, because that's where it really starts to feel like it drags, because not only are you is One Piece's like story like very long and detailed, but this is where the anime starts to really betray it, because you're basically getting half episodes at this point. You get 10 minutes of recap and then 10 minutes of new material.
Sounds awful. Glad everybody's loving it.
That's why I dropped around episode 700 and was like, I'll pick this up later, and I haven't touched it for 2 years.
So now it has best new series. Who's on that? Let's see. Delicious in Dungeon. Don to Don. Freerin. Here, let me share my screen. Freerin was on it. Soul Leveling Season 1. And I think Kaiju number 8.
I mean, out of that list, I would say Freerin, because Freerin's one of my favorite anime of all time.
What exactly? What's the category specifically?
Best new series. Let me double check. It might be Apothecary Diaries instead of okay, Dawn to Dawn, Delicious in Dungeon, Freerin, Kaiju number 8, Soul Leveling, Apothecary Diaries.
I'd have to say it's got to be Freerin.
I would say Freerin, honestly. Oh, like there's a lot of good ones in there. Don to Don, Apothecary Diaries, and Delicious in Dungeon. Like I liked all of those, but Freerin's just an all-timer for me.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta. I feel like if you look at the cultural impact, I mean, as big as those other ones have been, Freerin is like gone mainstream, and the memes and the just being used that's what demons do. Demons lie. You know, Freerin is,
Who
you know,
doesn't like a racist elf? I mean, all elves are apes.
It
All
was a
elves.
simple, straightforward, very impactful anime with a message that's applicable to just about everyone. Hey, take the time to appreciate the things in front of you while they last.
exactly.
The Apothecary, this isn't to discount the Apothecary Diaries, because it is like one of the best anime in the last couple of years. It is fantastic. It's just when in terms of like how mainstream things are and the impact they've had on culture and just like the overall experience, I genuinely believe Freerin is the better one.
So let's do this. Let's do a quick little review on this site. This is Critics List. It has a whole bunch of anime, movie, and stuff. They're going to add some games. So let's do Freerin. Now, I think it's right up here. What do you guys say? We'll do our 3 scores and then divide it by 3.
I mean, I have it as a 10 on my anime list, so I would have maxed it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
so-
I mean, if 9.5 or high, it's 9.5 to 10, whatever rating that would be.
So a 99 most excellent.
Yep. Yes.
All right, between the 3 of us. All right, is there any graphic language?
I believe there is a couple instances of 4-letter curse words, right?
Nothing that isn't already in Shonen though.
No, but he's writing this review on.
Okay, so we're doing this review, right?
Yeah, so I
is there
think
a bit,
there's
a little bit more, a lot, a ton.
no,
say a
it's
bit.
just a bit. Yeah, there's like the occasional, I think, shit or something like that.
Well, I mean, I believe that you'd be more likely to hear something like bastard or damn, which are pretty mild curse words, if we're being entirely honest.
I would say just the bit. Now the violence, on the other hand, there's probably because when they do have it, it can, it can get in there.
I would say blood. A bit more.
Yeah, because you're getting like parts where arms are getting cut off and things like that, and there's definitive blood splatter compared to what you're used to in a Western animation or kids type show, or and that's what when adults will look at when they're comparing this. There's definitely, I would say, a bit more is the right answer.
How do you spell decapitations?
There are limb removals.
I like that better. Okay. Is there any nudity or sexual content?
Is there a way to put that up like one tiny little notch?
Yep.
Just there. Because there is one instance where Fern looks at Stark and says his penis is small.
Well, there's also the pouring of the potion that can disintegrate clothes.
Yeah, there's that. And I guess if you want to include the feet.
Feet are fine.
Yeah, I would say it's like just like Crimson saying, there's nothing in there that's really terrible, but there are, over the course of the 26-ish episodes, there are
probably things on Cartoon Network with worse sexual content than what's on here.
Yeah. All right. What about political bias? None. There's none.
Very right. Ready? Demons
lie.
Are bad, or demons lie.
Demons lie, and the only good demon is a dead demon.
The funniest thing is people like completely misinterpret like why the demons are in the story, and they completely out themselves too immediately assuming that the demons are meant to represent minorities.
What's hilarious is in the context of the GD show, the demons are shown when they show up to do the fake meeting, where they're doing their powwow and they're saying, we're taking advantage of the humans. We're all terrible, evil things, and we're going to use their need to try to seek peace and understanding against them. And then we're going to just destroy them as soon as they open the doors and let us in. The show even tells, like, that way it's not ambiguous, right? you're not just thinking, it's not just Freeren having, like a good guess or something. The show lets you know. It
Mhm.
gives you insight into their internal, deliberations about how they will betray humanity to kill humanity, because all they want to do is kill humanity.
Yeah, well,
Which makes them good.
there are a lot of people who will make the argument that like it like just as like a whole like meta narrative thing, it goes against the themes of Freerin, because they'll claim that Freerin is all about empathy, but she won't show any empathy to demons and all that. I'm like, first of all, that's not what Freerin is about. Second of all, their purpose in the story is specifically to act as a foil to Freerin herself, in being very similar to how she was before meeting Himmel.
Yeah, I mean, the whole my take on Freerin as it with its meta goal is to show you the importance of making connections within your life,
Mhm.
because the connections are what provide you meaning. And even with the longest lived person, Freerin, who's effectively immortal, these connections are what will ground you and keep you sane and right, and making good decisions. Whereas, as like Crimson said, the demons are a specific thing that are an antithesis, because just like Freerin, they have effectively an immortal lifespan if
Mhm.
they don't die because of combat and fighting. And at the same, they are creatures that cannot, in under any circumstances, form connections. They are pure predator animals. They are high functioning. They can speak language, but they are effectively just predator loner animals that only gather together to be able to hunt bigger prey.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so
Well,
that is like Frimson said, that is meant to show the dichotomy, as Freerin makes the connection where she learned from her human master, then lived as a shut-in, then made the connection with Himmel and the party, and learned how to actually connect with people on that journey. And now that was her first step, and now her second step is taking a disciple, making the connections, and being basically a parent. It's the stages of human growth, right? You start by making friends, you get into a relationship. She fell in love with Himmel, but she never married him or got with him or did anything. But now she ends up now with a child with Fern, and she's acting as a mentor, as a mother figure. It's moving through human stages of connection.
yeah, well, there's also the issue of like, I don't know how far you've gotten into it, but there's this whole thing with the El Dorado arc about Mocked of the Golden Land. And a lot of people will interpret that as, oh well, there's this demon trying to understand humans. Why don't they? Why would they like do all this awful evil stuff and like portray demons as like irredeemable? That's racist. Like, how could you make a race that is completely irredeemable? That is evil. That makes you racist. And effectively, what it boils down to is, again, demons are a foil to Freerin, for the relationship aspect, and the fact that like they genuinely are incapable of appreciating momentary things, which is really what I would argue is like the real like core issue of Freerin. And looking like, there are a bunch of like small things throughout the series that effectively like show that point. Her constant flashbacks to these small, stupid little events in life, random items, and all of that have some sort of meaning to her. The whole relationship with Sane, and how he was in the story for how like a couple of episodes and then he departs. Um, Overall, like it is another one of those shows that is drastically misinterpreted based on your already existing, or drastically affected by your already existing political biases.
You know what? The only good demon is a dead demon.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just compare minorities to demons.
Yeah, don't worry. They're nowhere as bad as the goblins. I've never heard of one sentence. Goated. What up,
Based.
lethal? What up, lethal?
Based.
Thank you, sir. We're putting in our review. Lethal says it is goated. Okay. Family friendly. I guess other than the two the Stark Wiener and the and the clothes removal and a
Well,
couple
I would
swear
say
words,
it's
right?
very very family friendly because again we've already talked about
Yep.
like all the message behind Freerin and like it's very very much a wholesome anime overall.
Yeah, and one of the things I want people to get with family friendly doesn't mean that it doesn't have antagonists or fights or things. You know, like you a lot we've gotten to a point where sometimes for family friendly content we want it to be like non-violent, and that's not always great for teaching lessons. Like sometimes you want to impart lessons that involve standing up for yourself, learning to struggle and overcome, and knowing that demons will lie and all demons lie, and so all demons should be killed.
Well, again, like you said, family friendly content doesn't mean it is absolutely completely safe. Like there is
Yep.
0% anything that could be bad. Family friendly to me is effectively, is it wholesome for your kid to watch? I would say Freerin is yes. I would not say Berserk is wholesome for your family to
No.
watch,
Only
You
the
sure?
only the
even
clips are.
though it is an amazing. It is amazing.
Every time Griffith is on its family friendly.
Biggles is like, Sasuke taught me so much as a young man.
Saska? You mean Casca?
Casca, whatever. It's been a while.
It's all the same in the dark.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure if I asked her the pronunciation, she would be able to clarify it. Oh wait, she doesn't talk. So
maybe her name
Well,
is
it depends
made
on
up
how
this
far
whole
into
time.
it depends on how far into the manga you are because she does talk now.
oh,
got
she
the voice.
does. Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. And Lethal, you always have an invite on here, so if you want, just let me know and I'll send you a link. We do use Restream though because StreamYard's decided to be like $50 a month. All right, how much is the entertainment value?
Is there a way to make it like infinite?
Yeah.
Okay, for me, yeah.
Jesus, lethal.
I mean, he ain't wrong. I mean, if you've seen the end of the Golden Age arc, I mean,
He's like, all right, now shall begin the freak off.
He
Griffith goes full on Epstein. So, yeah. As far as entertainment value, I know a lot of people will find this slow. There are some really good points to it, like particularly the big fights that do happen in this show, but it can be pretty slow. It's a wholesome story. I would say it has a lot of entertainment value.
I do think, to me at least, Freerun is kind of a throwback. Is if when you watched anime in the 80s, 90s, early when it was routine for shows to get 26 plus episodes for their season, they gave a lot of room to breathe. I look like like if people went back and watched a show like Gundam Wing, they would be like, wait, everybody loves this show, but the amount of action in it is actually not huge compared to like a lot of lore, world building. You got Hero going to school and being an absolute Chad when she's like, here's my invitation to my party, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. It's like
that is some real like manly man riz right there.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to come to my party? I'm gonna kill you. She probably had to change her panties after that one.
If you watch the rest of the series, you see that she's became obsessed with him for the rest of her life after that. So she was like, he's a bad boy and I'm gonna fix him.
Nice
my
guy,
God.
nice guys finish last.
Yeah, as exampled by Sandrock and his whole crew, where he was super nice and they all got wiped out. Anyway, so
Maybe this is why I don't have a girl. I should be more abusive and just straight up an asshole to women.
Exactly.
Crimson,
That'll
I
probably
want
actually
you,
get me some action for once in my life.
Crimson, I want you to take your on-stream, slightly intoxicated persona and start applying that to your real world. Like, a girl comes up,
I
"What's
mean,
wrong
even
with you?" And
Griffith's
he's
got
like, "Get out
girls.
of my way."
Oh,
I
you
might,
want
or
me to
I'll just
basically you want me to basically threaten to rape someone at the slightest inconvenience, really?
Absolutely. No.
I have the wrong friends. I have the wrong people around me.
We're bad influences. But no, just for clarification,
Non-fucking gens are great.
that is not something you should do. You should never grape anyone.
Yeah,
No,
no. That is a very, very bad
no,
thing to do.
I don't want you,
and
no threatening to grape, but 100% neg them. Like, you know, when she comes up, "What's up?" And he's like, did I talk to you? You look a little bit trash. Come to me," and just walk away, and she'll be like, "What?" Do you know what this?
I'm just going to
what
start
this
telling
man
every
said
woman
to
that
me?
comes up to me that they smell like beans. Will that work?
Exactly. Yeah, that would work. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends. Are they Hispanic?
But yeah, but Freerun is a throwback to that kind of anime where they let it. It's more about the journey, right? And they have like they have the action beats. You know, you get fighting the dragon, you get standing up to the demons, you get taking the academy testing, where you mix in the fighting there. But none of it is like, it's not like Dragon Ball where you're spending 20 episodes in the middle of one of those fights.
Mhm.
You get journey in between where they're learning from each other. You get tidbits about, Freerun wistfully remembering her past in the context of what she's doing in the moment. One of my favorite bits in the show is coming across statues that have been put up where the people in the towns don't even remember who they're for, but Freerun they're either Freerun and the heroes, or in the case of the other elf that they ran into, it was him. Was it what was his name? Whatever the elf's name was, where he was a hero before the heroes party was, but it was hundreds a year before that. Craft. Yeah. And in those towns there was, statues of him and his human companion that was a hero, and people had no idea. We don't even know what they did anymore. We put the statue up and we still honor it. And so she took the time to like clean it up. That kind of stuff was really compelling. And there's so much to unpack about, like, how much what you do matters, but will it matter, stand the test of time? And if no one remembers exactly what you did, but they know you did something good, is that a testament? Like, there's so many grand themes. You don't get that in a lot of shows. And Freerun is so goated that I just can't, like, I think I'm like Crimson. I can't, nothing else can really compete with it in that same year. These other shows are great, but they came, like, it's like, stuff that
it legitimately is an all-timer that I stumbled upon in manga form while prepping for a vacation.
Okay, you want to know how I started Freerun? All right, so Hankley Studios, who comes in chat all the time, he's called the Doctor of Anime, right? He's seen over 3,000 animes now, from start to finish, wherever the season, like how many episodes there are. And he goes through, watches them. He goes to cons all the time. I know him in real life because I met him at a con. And he's like, you need to check out these two animes. Or no, when I first met him, he's the one who got me into ReZero. And then after I finally watched ReZero, we met again. And he's like, you got to watch Freerun and Apothecary Diaries. And I was like, oh man, this looks like it's going to be slow, right? And he's like, no, you got to watch it. Just watch it. So I ended up watching it. And I was like, this is fantastic. And I watched Apothecary Diaries. And I was like, this is fantastic. So he's kind of been pushing me into anime, just like how you guys are like, well, you got to watch Strangers in My Heart, or you got to watch this. So it's like how you're pushing me guys into the romance. And it's like the Gorilla Girl.
Wait, hold on. Have you watched Too Many Losing Heroines yet?
No, I'm still. It's on the next
Biggles.
list.
Motherfucker!
It's
it's
on
got
the
a-
next list.
Motherfucker!
It's got a
on the next
dub,
list.
Biggles. It's got a dub.
All right. I was going to start it like
No,
I
not
was going
not
to
going.
listen.
You're starting it.
I was going to have it all downloaded on my phone and watch it on the plane on next Sunday.
Don't make me get the alcohol out, Biggles. Don't make me do it.
Bring it on, Crimson. I'll give you a good time. I mean, what?
He's over here just spreading his cheeks already.
You can't threaten me with a good time.
I love it. The best way to deal with that shit is to just make it even gayer.
Yeah, right. You can't turn that shit on me. So I was going to download it on my phone and watch it on the plane ride because I'd be able to finish the whole series on the plane. So I was going to watch it on the plane. But it was on one of the best romances category, so I was going to watch it. And then I also have to watch some other ones that are on there, but I keep getting yelled at to watch other anime. But I did plan on that like next week.
I need Too Many Losing Heroines season 2 injected straight into my fucking arteries.
Yeah, so I've been watching more animes because you guys bully me into it, you know?
That's right, Biggles. And what are you watching next?
Too Many Losing Heroines on the plane.
Right, don't you forget it.
Correct.
But what I was going to
If
say,
you don't, Intoxicated Crimson's gonna come yell at you and threaten grape.
and I will allow it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so all right, so let's finish this review. So this is the part where we go in. Show itself is all about the journey and the connections we learn along the way. There are so many good themes that make it awesome. There, that's a Biggles word. And then we have chat says Lethal says it is goated. Marcel says the Mimic treasure boxes are the MVP of the show. What else do we need to put on this? Get past the slow start. It is worth it.
We need more Stark appreciation. Okay, we need more Stark appreciation.
We need more Stark appreciation. I don't know how to spell that word.
What are you, brain damaged? Don't
Yes.
answer that. That was a rhetorical question.
Stark is my favorite character, and I think he's actually the true hero, and not Himmel.
Stark is also my favorite character and all of that. Like he's
Let's
just great.
go. Okay. Contain spoilers. All right. We good with a 99 most excellent?
Yes.
We good with everything else we put? Even our far right meme joke?
Yes.
I mean, it's a great joke.
Look, if it being far right filters out the retards, I am all for labeling it that. Because I love Freerin, but I do not want to see more demon discourse off of Freerin. It's just so infuriating.
It's like the guys who side with the goblins, the Goblin Slayer. Fucking people.
The only good goblin
It's a dead goblin.
goblin.
Yeah, exactly.
The only good goblin is a dead goblin.
You want to talk about a guy who has a lot more choices of women than he should rightly have? It's Goblin Slayer. But
I thought you were going to say the protagonist of Rent a Girlfriend.
no, he is a piece of shit and deserves nothing.
All right. So
He deserves like I want that show to cross over with Ninja Assassin so the one girl can make a robot version of him that ends up getting with the girl within 12 hours and makes him sit in a corner and watch video of that. That's what the right ending is for that dude.
This is completely brought something to mind that so have any of you been watching Yandere Dark Elf?
Only the first episode.
I'm ashamed to admit, yes, I've watched.
Okay,
they're 10-minute.
Did you watch this latest episode where they confirmed it's set in the same world as Gushing Over Magical Girls?
I did.
No, I
hear
did
that.
not.
I saw
It
that
is-
today.
It is set in the same world as Gushing Over Magical Girls, and shit just got wild. Like, what the?
That's
like,
awesome.
like it wasn't even just like a passing reference. They literally have like on the screen at one point, like, hey, I'm gonna be doing this collab with a bunch of people who inspired me to start streaming. It's the three magical girls from Gushing Over Magical Girls. I'm like, are you
Oh
fucking
no!
kidding me?
That's great. I'm going to have to finish it.
Can I just say that I unapologetically think Gushing Over Magical Girls is high art. It's quality work.
I still
So
haven't
should I
watched it.
actually go back and watch it?
There's 3 versions of it, according to Brandon. There's like the really bad one, like uncensored. Then
No,
there's
so
the
so just
somewhat
understand.
tame, and then there's the censored.
Because
All
I
right,
watched
so
like 4 episodes of it and then dropped it because it kind of became one of those like anime where I was like, I don't know if I want to keep
it's
watching
making me
this.
feel things in my pants I'm not comfortable with.
No, look. I have my fetishes. I just don't talk about most of them on the stream, okay?
All right. Well, you guys entertain the chat. I'll be right back.
No, I think it's worth it because there is actually, if you, it's one of the, it's like Konosuba in the fact that it's a send up of the magical girl genre, but it's done with such love. Like you can tell what they're doing with by making, even though her character is sadistically twisted, she's doing everything she's doing out of pure love of magical girls and wanting them to become better at being magical girls.
I think I do
That's
have
the
a bunch of
realization.
screenshots from when I was watching that anime because that's the thing I like to do is just like when I watch anime, I take like screenshots of like out of context faces and stuff. I think I have some that I have used as profile pictures in the past.
I see Marcel over there gushing over magical girls is high art. Best take tonight.
Oh.
I am a man of culture, Marcel. I don't apologize for enjoying the content that is of true culture.
I have 14 screenshots from Gushing Over Magical Girls.
Uh-oh.
They're in a specific folder within a folder within a folder so that no one accidentally finds them.
No, I could literally show them all on stream right now and you would have no problem.
Uh-oh.
It's all dumb shit. Dumb shit. Like Utena just being an absolute fucking retard.
Yeah, the show is hilarious. Like the tropes it goes into, where like with the magical girls, you know, there's the badass like butch magical girl who just wants to fight. And you got the like ditzy kind of like girly one. You got the leader one. It's great.
The blue hair girl is totally turned on by all of it.
Yeah, where she's the straight lace like honor student one who's clearly a closet masochist.
She has a lot of pent up sexual frustration.
Yeah.
Let's not mince words. She she needs this.
So now let's talk about anime of the year. Everything the same as the last one, best new series. And I say Solo Leveling is going to win because we have a bunch of retards voting.
Solo Leveling will win, yes, because that's it's the ultimate power fantasy flex hype aura farming shonen that everyone fucking loves for whatever reason, even though the story is about as wide and deep as a puddle.
And it's only season 1, and I think it's season 1's not that good. And season 1 gets better because of that one episode, and 2 that's the most hated because it's not fighting.
That was so fucking retarded. But another one that I don't think deserves to win, as much as I love it, Delicious in Dungeon doesn't deserve to win Anime of the Year.
Nope.
Do you think
it's
it
a
should
really good
even
one,
be-
but it's not like anime of the year material. It's like, to me, it's like Handyman Sato. I loved that one. I thought it was great. It was one of my favorite watches.
Handyman Sato is so underrated.
Yeah. And even though it's got layers, it's got all this other stuff, it's not anywhere. It should never be like an anime of the year nominee. That's where I put Delicious in Dungeon. Great show. Fun to watch. Like it's a solid, like it's a Toyota Camry. It's a
Mhm.
great car. It'll get you where you want to be. It lasts forever. It's perfect, but it's just not like the high end. It's not a free, like you put it up. You're putting it again like against Freerun, right?
Yeah.
You're
It
you're
I
in
think it's
a
a
year
top 10 for
Freerun
me.
came out.
It's a top 10 for me, but it would never, ever, ever be like an anime of the year. It's not that good unless you have an absolutely um, desolate year for anime.
Yeah, it would have to be a really down year for that to be the legit number one. We're talking about a year where we had Freerun, Dan to Dan. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's so many really. I'm not even talking about the returning shows that we love.
Mhm.
But, you put it up against that kind of competition that was so original and so goated, it just doesn't hold up. Like, Dan to Dan
Well,
was
look, you
great.
literally are have to compare it to. I would even put solo leveling above this as much as I trash on it. There's solo leveling, Shangri-La Frontier, Freerun, Apothecary Diaries.
Season 3 of Konosuba.
Yeah, Konosuba. Hell, Jobless Reincarnation. Reason. There are so many other anime that came out that would easily blow this out of the water in an anime of the year contest. It's just like not one. Like the reason this is on here is because all of the critics really, really, really love this because they enjoy gay shipping the elf with Laios' sister.
Now, so there's only 10 votes here because it's a newer site. It's a 92%. This 100% doesn't say anything. This 100% doesn't say anything. This 97 doesn't say anything. This 100% says 100%. Enough said.
See, I don't disagree with anybody rating this thing in the most excellent category.
Mhm.
It's just it doesn't hold up against these other great shows. Like this show, that's the thing. People need to get that shows can be great, like entertaining product
Well,
and
like
not be the best.
mhm. Well, like as evidence this season, like I literally have been enjoying stuff like Unaware Atelier Meister and the Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows. Those
Yeah,
are
like
objectively shit anime, but I
What,
love the hell out of
I
them.
know. Like
what about five retards and a cat?
I'm
Look at
not
this,
watching
like,
that one. I gave it
which one
3
was that one?
episodes, didn't impress me.
it's
Mono.
so fucking stupid.
Oh,
It's hilarious.
but they like the
You way
Atelier.
dude Biggles, you way oversold the kite episode.
Oh man, that was so funny. Fucking retard running around, "Whee!" and it couldn't fucking fly.
Ah!
Yeah, I
I
mean
told you I don't
Atelier
know any of their
Meister.
names.
Atelier Meister is objectively like, but I enjoy it's got a dub. I can pop it on. Now we've got the random little girl involved making all the women have fantasies of being married and having kids with them. We've got now, and then we've got now
The fake atelier.
we've got the fake Atelier that is designed to look, I think, like Kurt in a more princed, glamored up
I
aesthetic.
was about to say basically how all of the women in that show view Kurt.
So do we think he's kind of like a golem type creature? What are the ones that are not like um not like a golem, but they're like a lookalike? Like they molded into looking like the person, kind of like in Sword and Wizard or whatever. The one I don't like.
Story of Wand and Sword.
Yeah, where
The one that you
she
don't like in
controls.
spite of being incredibly gay because they talk about a wiener.
Yeah, he's talking about how
Even
he
though it's
checks
his
out his
girl,
wiener in the even though it's a girl.
that's
Yeah,
the
so like
only
it's
way his girl
illusion.
can spend time with him.
So you think it's like a golem or like an illusion like she does, or what
I
are
think
we
it's just a dude that they're paying to.
you think
It,
it's just an
Yeah,
actor?
I
Okay,
think it's
okay.
just a dude. I think
yeah,
it's just a dude.
I
I
think it's
thought
maybe somebody who works as one of those shadow agents
Mhm,
for the one girl,
the royal family.
because they're going to want somebody who can be trusted with the secret and who understands the need for this role. So it's going to be somebody in that royal family, like secret aid, possibly an adventurer that
Mhm.
had worked with what's her name before. I mean, it is weird that we're putting this much thought into Atelier Meister, but
It does
fun,
not
man.
deserve this level
No.
of thought.
It's so fun though. It's so
I mean,
stupid.
the princess is a freak. Elisha just she is
wants
looking
it.
at Kurt thinking, I want to have your babies. And everyone else is what the fuck is going to happen next with this kid? Because he's over here basically making impossible physics machines and magic nukes. What else could he possibly surprise us with?
Dude, my favorite part was the pigs. Like they're like, we're going to ride the pigs, and then they're all like, I couldn't see them on the screen after she blasted them with fire. Right? I was like, oh no, are all the pigs dead? And then they're just like. And they're like banging the thing. They're like, "This is the happiest the pigs ever been." Dude, the pigs just got bombed by fire. Like, what the hell? I was dying over the pigs, man.
All pigs desire to be bacon.
There's so many stupid anime this season that are just so much fun.
Ninja Assassin right there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
That's my favorite. Probably isn't as good as I think it is show, but
I just did my review on that, and honestly, going back and finding clips, it is so much funnier than I remember.
Yeah. Well, this week's episode was the titty episode where she's like, she pulled a sword out of her boobs.
She's just like casually like sitting there like really happy, just bobbing up and down,
Yeah.
and her tits are just like flapping in the fucking wind.
I'm surprised. Listen, with that show, I'm surprised she wasn't like bouncing and then fucking knocked herself out.
I just love that
like,
that our mad scientist girl used the treatment on herself too.
Yeah, so she had it.
Yeah. No, but to bring it back around to what started this rabbit trail, Delicious in Dungeon, you can enjoy it and acknowledge that it's a good show. It's a solid show. It just doesn't contend with like true art like Freerin, the Apothecary Diaries, Don Don. Like you have a hard time telling me that Delicious in Dungeon is better than, well, if this is the list for it is better than anything on this list. Well, maybe Kaiju number 8, but that's neither here nor there.
You fuckers. No, Kaiju number 8 is number 1. We're number 1. We're number 1. Especially because I spent like $2,000 on it, so it has to be.
I mean, Biggles is like Biggles' review of Kaiju number 8 will be titled "Sunk Cost Fallacy." Why I will always say this is number 1.
The sunken cost fallacy. Well, no, it would be number 2 because I spent more on Goblin Slayer. Way more on Goblin Slayer.
We want to talk about what I've spent the most on. Probably Berserk. I think it's probably the closest to $1,000 that I've spent on a series.
Listen, Kaiju number 8 has 14 mangas with the side story one that I have here.
Kaiju number 8 a manhwa, so it's in full color and everything.
No, it's not. It's
a manga. I could
It's a
literally
manga.
go grab my manga off the shelf.
Can I say that's one of the reasons I think Solo Leveling is doing as well as it is in book form here in the West? Is as a manhwa, it is full color. The collections are pretty solidly quality. I think that's one of the. I think there's some the manhwa stuff has probably got a pretty bright future. I'm thinking just prediction wise.
It's simpler than that actually. It's because the anime performed well. People like the anime. That's one of their big monetization routes as far as producing anime goes, is to sell the source material. That's why they will often hold on to a season for who knows how long. They'll delay until they have more material to sell because people want to know what happens next after the end of a season.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think Black Clover's waiting till it finishes. And I think they said it finishes this December, and then they're going like full production to get everything out. So Black Clover's finished. But so at the last con I was at, we were talking about Kaiju number 8, and we were saying how, I just bought a new Kaiju number 8. I have the book in my bag. I got to go grab that eventually and read it, because it's like another spin-off that's not even like, I can't find it anywhere. But Kaiju number 8 was so popular, and then the week it ended, no one talked about it anymore. And like all the hype was had, and then they're like, okay, we're done. Let's go talk about anything else, right? But like these other ones, they're still talking about it. People are still bitching about the demons. People are, well, Apothecary Diaries has a season going on right now. So it's like, well, look at all the shit going on here. People are still talking about Rudy's fucking ED. And how long ago was that?
Well, the difference is Mushoku Tensei has like a Mariana's Trench worth of depth. The Apothecary Diaries and Freeman, they have petite women, so
Rudy Zero as your silver hair elf.
yes, but
Konosuba has darkness. Soul Leveling has sister leveling.
nah.
Come on, sister leveling is more popular than soul leveling right now.
No, it's not. But
That is headcanon, Biggles. That is straight up headcanon.
Hey, listen, when the people that are doing the YouTube videos on the canon of the show are using sister leveling content in it as canon,
Then they're retarded.
It's taking over, guys. It's taking over.
It's like when people start talking about that web novel chapter that everyone likes to reference every time you bring up Rudy in a like anime discussion. It's not canon, and you're retarded for bringing it up.
Are we
I don't
talking
even know
about
what it is.
little sister marrying?
No, we're talking about the web novel chapter where it talks about how he hid a camera in his brother's bathroom.
He has a brother?
He has but 2 brothers.
He does?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, at least in his old life, he had 2 brothers.
And
Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't even consider them people. Anyone who was in that underworld doesn't exist.
See, the one I see a lot that they bring up is little sister with nephew route, where that was official canon, then soft canon, where he backed it out but didn't eliminate that as being the route that actually got taken.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Aisha stuff is weird.
Is Aisha the redhead?
Aisha is the half sister.
The half sister
redhead,
from with
right?
the maid. With the maid.
The redhead, right?
No, she's.
Redhead?
I think she's purple. Like, isn't
Technically, she's not as redhead as Eris, so I wouldn't call her a redhead.
I think it's like purple, like her mom. Isn't it reddish purple?
Wait, I thought her mom had red hair too.
No, her mom is
like
the
a purplish
red hair maid.
Oh, okay. Well then, fuck. I don't know what any of the characters look like anymore. I'm going to have to rewatch it.
But I think I think it's one of his kids with Eris that. No, is it the kid with?
Spoilers, but yes, it is Rudy and Eris's son. Their first son.
So spoilers, because I don't think this will ever get animated. Eventually, his half sister runs off with his son with Eris, and they get married.
So as far as Lilia and Aisha goes, I have a picture here. It's more like a reddish brown color, whereas Eris's is like a fiery red.
Okay, that makes sense.
I can't share because I have it pulled up on my laptop instead of my computer.
That's fine. I forgive you. Okay, so
I'm sorry, the laptop is free. I'm looking at your ugly mug on my PC. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to look at my ugly mug. Mug.
Ugly Mug is actually the name of an isekai anime that's coming out at some point here.
Is it? Is it about
Ugly Mug Epic Fight or something like that?
It's like, as long as it's not like the beginning of Evil Galactic Lord, Ugly Mug, and we're gonna isekai. That's a joke. That Crimson sort of gets where I was going. I don't know about Biggles.
Any jokes you make are like above my head. Okay.
Well, apparently also so is figuring out what the hell is going on in Apothecary Diaries.
Oh my god,
Man, they look the same.
that still made me laugh. Oh, Biggles, he was giving you everything. You clicked on it so many times. Every time you were clicking, it had the big show spoiler button, and I was like, he's gonna figure it out.
I didn't even
No.
see that button.
Then I make the usual suspects reference. I guess it's fair enough that you've never seen it because Crimson was like, it is sort of like Kaiser Soze, and he's like, where they're it's a different person pretending not to be like, it's like, oh, Biggles, come on, man, come on, figure it out. You're almost there, Biggles.
I was trying, guys. I was trying.
He
And then when
literally-
you're like, she's the third sister, and Crimson's like, no.
he was rubbing his fucking two brain cells together so hard. I thought the heat was gonna fuse them together.
I was trying so hard, guys. I swear. But yeah, so we think Solo Level is going to win Anime of the Year because retards. Even though Freerin should win. You guys made fun of Kaiju number 8 because of all the money I spent. But no, so when we actually look at this and talk about it, the list kind of suck, and I didn't want to go over any of these. And then I was like looking at like best voice actors and stuff, and I'd be like, I don't even know which character that is. It didn't even say which character they were voicing, and I was like, well, I like certain voice actors, and in certain roles they suck, like because they just get awful dialogue to speak, and no matter how good of a voice actor they are, it's fucking cringe and disgusting and shit. It's
Well,
like
that's why I called it the Normie Awards when I was talking about it and why I
Mhm.
never covered it. I literally looked at it and I was like, all of this is kind of shit. Like, why would I want to? Like, I'm gonna have my own awards with blackjack and hookers.
yeah, let's do it. I can get the blackjack and the hookers.
Yeah, let's make our own awards show, and we'll make people pay $30 to vote for it.
Yeah, and by $30, I'll only charge you 10.
I was poking fun at the
I
Video
know,
Game
I know,
Awards.
I know exactly what you were doing, and I agree.
And we'll also make sure to include entries from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, or best MMO, World of Warcraft. Dude, World of Warcraft has been going for 21 years now, dude. It's still the best, even though it's shit because there's no real competition. What are you talking about?
World
It's
of
still the
Warcraft might
best,
as well
even
be
though it's
the
shit.
MMO.
That beats my high praise on gushing over Magic Girl. Still the best, even though it's shit.
It's the most popular, but it's shit.
Sounds like another sunk cost fallacy opinion from Biggles. I've spent so many hours and dollars on that one. It's the best, even though it's shit.
He's not
Which-
answering.
Which one did I spend a lot of money on?
Do you play World of Warcraft?
Oh, yeah. 18 years.
I mean, there you go.
You know how much, dude, I have over 1,000 days played on 2 characters of playtime. On multiple characters.
You have over 5.4 years.
not
in
not
those
like
two
not
characters.
like just like like if you strung all that time together, you have sunk 5.25 years, something like
Mhm.
that, into World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And you've been playing World of Warcraft for 18 years?
Yeah.
All right, so that means 30% of your life since you've been playing it has been spent playing that game.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
And then, all right, so in that same 18 years times 365, assuming how many hours a day do you sleep?
Back then, I was only sleeping like 2 or 3 hours a day.
No wonder you're fucking retarded.
No, dude, I've had 11 fucking concussions. That's why I'm retarded.
Well, the sleep deprivation doesn't help.
I mean, back then I was a genius. I still had my autographic memory or auto whatever it's called when you can
You
remember
are-
everything you hear.
Back
What is
then,
it
I
called?
was a genius. Back
Auto-
then,
what is it
I
called?
I done had my autographic memory.
What is it called when you can remember anything audible that you hear? Auto something. What is it fucking called again? I don't know. But like, I never had to do anything. I knew shit.
So, all
Yeah.
right, just I've done some math. I did some quick math, by the way.
Okay.
Between sleep and World of Warcraft, 46% of your life was just those two things for 18 years.
Nice. The rest was work and school.
So over the 18 years, over almost 20 years, so almost 2 decades, you only had available 54% of your time to actually do something.
Well, I'm assuming you also had a job at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so logistically, we're talking you probably only had about 30% of your time free to do anything. That's awesome, Biggles.
I mean, I used to get fucking hammered playing that game, and then my girlfriend would come over and like while I was playing the game, yeah. And then I'd be like, okay, bye. We got to finish this raid.
And people would be like, what was your screen name again? And Biggles would yell, Leroy Jenkins. And just start running into the fight.
No, I was the healer, man. I stayed back. But there was one time where what happened? I like disconnected and wiped the entire raid, and then we lost realm first by like an hour because it took me 20 minutes to get back on. They're like, you pug pulled and cost us everything. I got in trouble. We were so close.
See, the only raid stories I have is a guy dropping out of a raid in the original Destiny because his girlfriend walked into his gaming room butt ass naked. All we heard was a door open and like a very faint female voice in the background. And all of a sudden, the dude's just like, "Yeah, sorry, I gotta go.
I'm not going to
She needs me," and he just instantly was offline. Like he'd like pulled the plug from his PlayStation.
I told her either you can do it now while we're gaming, or you have to go.
Which raid was it, by the way?
Let's see. That would have been.
Yeah. So,
fucking. The floating temple with the firebird. What was that called? Tempest. With Alar. In Burning Crusades. Tier 5. A tier 5 raids. What were they called? Dun, 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 dun. What was that? Tempest Keep. It was during Tempest Keep. And it was, what boss was it? It was High Astromancer Solaran. The one before Kel'Thuzad. Yeah, so that's so yeah. Always remember, if they love you, they're fucking nuts. There you go. It's one thing I learned.
I mean, that kind of applies. because like the last chick I dated was a Latina and she was crazy.
Oh, well, the last chick I dated stabbed me. So. All right. So, yeah. And she was also Latina.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the crazy. Latinas are hot, at least until you get them pregnant once.
How many of you got pregnant? Once? Crimson's the dad, everybody.
No, I am not.
All right. So, what do you guys want to talk about now? You guys want to talk about the anime that we've been going over this whole time? Like how I'm Gorilla Girl is getting too lovey-dovey for me, and as much as I liked it up to this point, I'm like, oh man, this is a chick flick for sure.
Are you just now realizing that it's a shoujo anime?
No, I've known the whole time, but it kind of felt like one of my villainess without the villainess, or like that blonde-haired girl felt like the villainess. So I've been hoping something good happens, and now I'm like, oh no, it's too lovey-dovey. And seeing Isaac get crushed like that, I was like, oh, poor dog. He was so loyal, and then he got broken. He got friend-zoned. Poor guy. Poor little Isaac.
Sounds like the story of my life.
Poor Isaac. And the funny
No,
thing
the
is, he
story
got
of
the
my
dog
life
too.
is only realizing that a chick was flirting with me about 5 years after it happened.
Dude, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
She'll-
well, we've
she'll
talked
be-
about how you friend zone everyone just because you're awkward.
I was like, this can't be true until I watched you for 20 minutes with something staring you right in the face as Crimson's giving you every insight. You're still like, what are you talking about? What is this thing? Like,
Dude,
until with Apothecary Diaries, it's like, oh, Biggles can't see things that are right in front of his face. He's not lying. He is telling the truth.
I had a girl naked in front of me talking to me, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I had no idea what she was saying. Poor Biggles. One day you won't be retarded.
One day you'll figure it out.
All right, so what's the best anime right now that we've been watching? We kind of talked about it yesterday, but what are we watching? Not yesterday, last Monday.
I mean, still the best anime that I've been watching: Apothecary Diaries, Kowloon Generic Romance, and Sword of the Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
So Kowloon. So the delivery guy couldn't see her, so she can't leave that place, or she can leave that place, but no one can see her. And
Yet again, Biggles not grasping what's like literally in front of his face.
She's like a third generation thing, but not an actual clone. And the other one committed suicide or control deleted. And
so the one we're following right now isn't like even real. She's basically just a recreation projected off of people's minds, and only certain people can perceive what's going on in Kowloon.
okay, so that it has to do with the thing in the sky, I think.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And
Generic Terra.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why she's a generic, right? So she's the generic in the romance, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then Kowloon is
Crimson
also
wants to
generic.
give you such a thumbs up for getting that. It's like,
Yeah, look at me go. I told you I'm not always retarded. So yeah.
Biggles had a thought for once.
Yeah. So
Oh god, my leg is cramping up. What the fuck?
so that's and then we have the weird hermaphrodite bedroom scene. And that story's the story's so weird, but it's good. But it's so weird and mind melting.
Yeah, it is weird, but I do still love it, and I'm curious to see how all of this is going to wrap up at this point. Still love Sword of the Demon Hunter. I haven't watched the latest episode because I literally got home from work, went to the gym, came back, ate dinner, and then got sent the link. So I literally did not have any time to watch anything tonight.
So today's episode is good, and next week's episode is going to be crazy. But there was no Apothecary Diaries this weekend.
Yes.
I was like, what the fuck? Where is it? So, fuck. I was so excited and it's not there.
There, let's see what else. Sword of the Demon. I mean, Apothecary Diaries is great. Sword of the Demon Hunter is still doing well. I mean, they're rolling stuff out that some of there's obviously a translation issue. If you watch the one today, it begins by saying it's 1953, and I'm like, this is not right. It's basically it's like the next year forward from where we were at.
Yeah,
it's like 1854. It's supposed to be where we're getting we've got another intriguing person introduced, which is the prostitute who we're like, what's your name? He's like, you can just call me Harlot the Harlot.
You can just call me Man the Man.
Yeah, I like that, the naming of the prostitute. And then we also got another dude who's basically Megumin, the other one, the Jujutsu Kaisen guy.
Yeah,
Megumi.
Yeah, I was trying to.
How are you so confused by the letter N?
Dude,
be careful, Crimson.
I have too many N's in my name, so I can't do it. I can't handle it. It's confusing.
What do you mean? Be careful? You won't think I'm going to follow it up with a couple of other letters? No.
Yeah.
How are you so confused by the letter N?
I know. It's more because Biggles won't know what to do, and he'll end up saying something.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it right now. No.
Do it, pussy.
Crimson's like, you got monetized.
Manchester.
Let's nuke your channel, man.
All right, so what else is My Hero Academia? We get the detective girl's sister, who's a classmate. And I love how her quirk is polygraph, and she's like, "You're the crueler, right?" And he's like, "No." And it's like, truth, because he's not. He's the crawler. And then
it reminds me of the Seinfeld thing. It's only a lie if you believe it. So
right?
it's only,
yeah. It's only not a lie if you don't believe it. Right? But the middle school kids, or I love the poll, they're like, what do you like the best about Pop Step? Her butt. She's cute. Her butt.
I agree with all these reasons.
They're like the crueler. He's creepy. He seems nice, but he's creepy. He's creepy. I like him, but he's creepy.
Poor Koichi just trying his best to, like, you know, be a good dude and have friends and fit in. Everyone just finds him creepy.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, the knuckle duster. He's scary. I don't want to get involved. Just like funny shit.
Pop Step legitimately is their PR.
It's great. They're like, her butt. What else is really good? We already talked about Ninja. Fuck, what are the shows that are out? I forgot already.
Now that you say that, I do need to post my tier list, but I could pull it up.
We talked about Atelier.
Screenshots.
Why is my fucking well, that's a normal thing that my brain doesn't work.
No. I mean, I can't do Mono, honestly. Like, it's just
it's really, really retarded. That's why I like it. Dinner Table Detective actually had a really emotional 6th episode.
Oh, I
Um,
forgot about Country Bumpkin, but yeah, go ahead.
I did
yeah.
not like this latest episode of Country Bumpkin. It felt like really slow and pointless. And I'm not normally one to say that about like episodes where they try to do like character connection and stuff, but this one just felt so worthless
Well,
as
that's
an episode.
because that girl is okay. She's like monotoned,
She
and
doesn't
like,
like do anything, and it's
yeah,
basically just an entire episode of her like just being distant right up until the very end.
yeah. Now, well, it was because he said the thing about the mouse, right? Um, but Dinner Table Detective had a really emotional sixth episode because the dude, or like the sacrifice that happened to the dude before he got killed, right, to save her thing, and then she sang a song about him, and it was an emotional episode, probably the best episode in that whole damn show. um Windbreaker, we find out Tsubaki's a pole dancer, which had me fucking dying. I was dying, dude. So
How are we
funny.
forgetting about Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire having a really good episode this
Mhm.
week?
Oh yeah, well, it hasn't showed it yet, but we already know from the first episode that he saves her and puts her back together.
Mhm.
I like
Well,
this.
Yeah, but the
I just like the
backstory is pretty
flash.
messed up.
I just like the flashback to like his previous life right before he domes the dude.
Yep.
Like I knew it was coming the moment he started talking about like, oh, you want my creations and all that. I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna get fucking killed by Lee.
And he's just like, boom. Like,
Honestly, I wish they would have been a little bit more dramatic with it. Or like go like the full on like General Shepherd to like Roach and Ghost in Modern Warfare 2. Like, come on, like just hit them with it in the most dramatic, like cinematic way you possibly could.
let's see. Did I don't think we got a new Takamine, did we?
Yeah, we did. Episode 7.
Oh, they go to college, right?
Yes.
Okay, they go to college and they take off her underwear and put it back on, like every other episode, but that's all I can remember.
The big issue I have with that one is I do enjoy it, but it's like it's an entirely predicated on the basically this inferred idea that our main guy Shirota is never gonna get any of that.
Poor dude, except he does get to touch her boobs every now and then. Healer, or yes, she'll lose her power because, or hey, there's the loophole.
we don't actually know if she'll lose her power or not. So
Well, then
like
it won't
it's
be-
never stated. That's why I
Well,
say it's an inferred idea. It's something
she-
that everyone just assumes.
She does say then it wouldn't be the Eternal Virgin Road anymore in one of the episodes.
Yeah, but she doesn't say she'll lose her power.
Man,
well, okay.
The funniest thing about that show is like when she goes off on her tangents about what will happen if he's not there to be her closet, where she's like, someone will see me doing it and snap pictures, and then they'll blackmail me, and then I'll start enjoying what I'm doing, and I'll drop out, and I'll
Do
become the
adult
number
film.
one adult. I love when she was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna be the best at it." And then this last episode, when he's like, "No, that wouldn't happen because you would just undo him getting pictures of you," and she's like, "You're no fun."
Well, doesn't she say, but then he's seen my breast, so I can't.
No,
so-
it's not that she can't undo things. It's that that person would remember the alternate timeline.
Mhm.
So it's like what happened with our main guy. She constantly will undo stuff. He just remembers what happened before she undid it.
Okay.
So whoever took the video might remember they took video, but they're not going to have that video anymore.
Okay. Well, then there's the brilliant healer. Let's go to that because that we have another healer come in, and they're all like, "We're going to kill you if you threaten him," like. And then we have the bathtub scene where they're all fighting in the bathtub. Okay. Anything you guys want to say on that one? Because
That show, I mean, they did their generic Hot Springs
It's
episode.
so trash, but it's enjoyable.
Get rid of that first episode, and I probably would rate this a lot higher.
I still wouldn't because it's trash, but that first episode doesn't help.
There is I do want to kind of get at least a slight explanation with whoever taught him like his way of thinking about using healing magic, because he keeps, he does reference that he had a teacher.
Mm-hmm. And we're probably going to learn more next week, because the guy said, I'll tell you everything or I know about your teacher.
Yeah, guess that works. Yeah, it's I mean, the whole dragon girl, cat girl, or werewolf girl versus orc girl. I did like, it was funny. Think it was funny that the orc girl was like showing off and like, I'm a bodybuilder. Like, look, my body is fantastic. And the and our poor elf girl, like, who's just like sitting there talking to the ghost, where she's like, you're still young, you're developing, you've got a chance. But I mean, aside from the occasional chuckle like that, I mean, it's something I've watched, but it's, it's generic kind of background fantasy show. I think it's suffering because we've had a glut of this kind of show now for the last like 3 anime seasons.
It's still it's not as bad as Isekai has ever been, but I feel like it's just starting to like really get to the phase where this becomes the next big popular thing to do.
Using the healing one. Yeah.
No, I'm OP.
Oh, yeah.
I'm OP, but my tarred coworkers didn't realize that and they threw me out.
And speaking of the best, I got thrown out by my retarded coworker, Two Perfect Saint.
Yep.
Is
we got the shut-in neat crown prince. Who's
So this is one that I feel like I may have been a little bit too early to do my video on, because it has been slowly like improving my impressions of it like across.
It's great, dude. It's great.
Well, it's all based on the sister arc that it's really improving and picking up.
Well, I feel like even without like the stuff with Philia, like actually having a good life over in the other country, it wouldn't be as impactful. I think both of them are equally as important to making this show actually as good as it is. It's a much slower burn than you would expect, and it takes a little while to get rolling.
So I saw someone be like, is this a Yuri? I was like, no, just because there's 2 girls in the scene doesn't make it a Yuri. And then they finished the episode and they were like, sorry, I got my wires crossed. I thought it was, I was like, dude, what show are you even watching? Just because she's like, run away with me to go to the kingdom, right? She's not saying run away with me, we're going to get married. Did you not watch the ending of the episode right before it? Do you want to go back to your sister? Like I was so confused on how that even like happened. Have any of you watched Once Upon a Witch's Death?
No, you were talking about stinky feet at one point. It really deterred me from watching that.
Yeah, so there's a witch, and so in the last episode they go to like North America, and there's like a thing that's only open every 20 years, and because she's 17, she wasn't here the last time. And the witch with the stinky feet was there, and she was like, man, all she does is do this and has stinky feet. And then the witch hears her and like looks at her and gives her like the death stare, and she's like, oh my god, she's going to kill me. And I think it's funny. It's okay. I mean, if it's binged in a dub, then I say you can be safe to check it out in the background. You guys been watching Apocalypse Hotel?
Yes, I really like Apocalypse
Yeah,
Hotel.
it's good. It's sitting right outside my top 5, waiting for one of the other ones to falter.
Imagine a show that is basically supposed to be like a fun like slice of life comedy having a better fight scene than one of the most anticipated fantasy isekais of the past couple of years.
That fight scene was pretty good.
Yeah. So
because it's a Harpocalypse is coming, and they're like, oh, that was just something that happened like 400 years ago, and that's when they all left and died on Earth.
Destroyer of Worlds legitimately just rolls up and like decides he's gonna chill at the hotel for a couple of days.
And he's like, rebuild your town so I can destroy it. Like,
Yeah, my thought is I think Witch Watch is good, but Witch Watch is kind of hovering, and I feel like Apocalypse Hotel could move into my top 5, my number 5 spot for taking Witch Watch spot.
See, Witch
By the
Watch
end of the
episode
season.
6 though was like its best episode yet. Honestly, like it just got really good with that.
I want to do an episode on this one. Witch Watch teaches you how to be a YouTuber. Don't just copy other people and be unoriginal. Edit. And if you want, make sure to be a hipster loser. Like,
I haven't seen this week's episode, but I was talking about the one before it with the whole like confession and everything.
Oh, yeah. With the tree.
Le tree, yeah.
The tree, yes. Okay, yeah.
Le
But no, this week's episode with the YouTube episode is funny. But it's never been in my top 5. I don't really care about any of the characters. I just think it looks awesome to watch, so I watch it. And another tip for becoming good at YouTube, according to Witch Watch, use a cute girl. And that's it. That's all I got.
I mean, that's
Sounds
always
about
a
right.
pro tip.
I'm going to make a video on it, and I'm going to try to make
Isn't
it
that
funny.
basically just how VTubers work?
Yes. Oh,
Make sure that your AI voice is great when you use your VTube anime girl.
have you guys seen Teogonia or something? However you say it.
Teogonia?
Yeah.
No, I didn't touch that.
Little Chad, have you looked at it all?
Nope, I haven't watched that one.
So it's like an isekai, where he's reborn in this other world with gods and powers, and you basically drink the god stone from inside of them, which is kind of like their heart, but it's only from guardian bearers. So like you get blessed by gods in the world, kind of like Gorilla God, but like you have to pray and like clean up their area and protect their area as guardian bears. And they're basically fighting this war, and it's actually pretty it's pretty good. Oh yeah, and this is from the Witch Watch episode. Love the tea ceremony. But I like it. I just been kind of watching it. It's kind of one of those like middle of the pack that's interesting to watch when you're waiting on like other animes to like start their thing. Compass 2.0, I haven't really continued to watch that, but we haven't talked about my my favorite yet. And guess what, guys? No guesses? Okay. They added the outro on Spotify. So I've listened to it about 30 times already in a row.
I've listened to it about 30 times in the last hour.
No,
I care about the guy.
too.
Biggles, I care that you do it the 99% time, the 99 times that doesn't matter. That's
Dude,
what
I love this episode. Have a nice day. And she's like, oh, that was close. Because she said, I love Ruiko. She's just so much fun. I love all the people in this show. They're just great, all of them. So it was the 99 ones that don't matter, and then there was what was the other one from this week? Oh, the article. Article, right? So there's Baseball Weekly, right? So there's an article in it, and Ruiko is like super nervous, and she's using like the stuff she learned, so she doesn't actually know like the baseball terms. She says like she learned it from either Murata or like the girls around, right? Mm-hmm. And she like uses them in the thing. So she goes to Murata, and he's holding the magazine, and she's like, oh, you read that? And she makes him turn to the page, and so he like spends the whole thing like reading it about her. and then they flirt a little bit, and then he goes to to the food stand girl, because he's her prince, right? And he's holding it, and she's like, "Oh, did you see the article?" Because he was like nicer to her than normal, and she's like, "Oh, we must have read the article." And then she like turns to the page and sees that her name is wrong, and she's like, "No, he's going to call me the wrong name next time he sees me." And then the narrator goes, "He did not read the article first."
Yep.
It's so good. I love this show. It's so much fun. How many episodes was that? Like 7? Oh, I'm not logged in, so I can't just add my score. But yeah, I love this show. It's so much fun. Anything else, you guys? We are about to hit the 2-hour mark. So do we have anything?
Not really. I don't
Nope.
have anything to say.
All right. Well, chat, if
Biggles' feet stink.
Thank you. I try to watch them as much as I can, but life is life. All right. So if you are a member on the channel, tomorrow I'll be working on my my Cold Steel review as like a member stream. The Leon one, I have the script written, and I've been grabbing some clips, and I just got to edit it together and record it. So that should be out by next week. The Cold Steel review might be next week as well. And then I'm going to try to do an episode on the Witch Watch YouTube episode and try to have that all out before I leave. We'll still be here next Monday, but the Monday after, I'll be getting fucking hammered at some brewery in Pennsylvania. So for my birthday.
Oh, if you meet a guy named Roland, slap him for me, would you?
All right. So if Crimson's Roland is in Pennsylvania and I see him, you have to tell me so I can slap you across the face. And I'll do it as hard as I can just for Crimson. And I'll probably fall because I'll be wasted. But we're going to do a birthday stream on the 30th because that is the last day I'm here. It's a Friday. If you guys stop by, that'd be awesome. We'll do like one of these and we'll just hang out, talk. Maybe I'll have the Eminence of Shadow mobile game playing in the background on my PC so we can have some girls fighting on the background while we're talking.
So I think we need something with a little bit more jiggle physics.
A little more jiggles physics. We'll
Jiggles
figure it out.
for the Biggles.
We'll figure it out, man. And then well, that one also has some of the ReZero things because they did a crossover. So we might be able to get like Rem and Rom in there too. So we might be able to get them in the Eminence of Shadow game. But back on Twitch, I used to do I was biddies for titties, and I would be like, wee! Anytime we got bits. And sometimes I'd have girls on stream and they just go like this for me. Those were the days I made more money. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Join us next Monday and then the Friday after, or that week, for my birthday stream. We'll be live this weekend doing random shit, but not talking, not all of us, just me doing random shit, playing some kind of game. And we'll all see you next time. So you know what that means, guys. We got Goblet Slayer.
Like hell we're gonna believe that. A goblin lord? My ass. You're just a damn goblin. Just a disgusting little goblin. And me...
but we all know it is probably not. Little chat with another slice of life. Biggles keeps talking about another villainess. And in a tropeに越されているので、私たちはそれらは全て分析します。It's the Biggles breakdown, another anime night, fighting over shows and the plots. It's time for the Biggles breakdown.